So lastly, we're going to talk about Coi Leray. Coi
All
Leray
right.
believes that the music industry has become oversaturated.
Damn.
People are coming at her for making these comments, and she's doing her best to clap back because she don't care. But she made a couple comments talking about how the music industry is oversaturated, and there's a lot of people who are kind of saying, "Well, how you gonna say that when you're a part of the very saturation that you speak of?"
Hmm.
So once again, this is an article from Hot New Hip Hop that is delving into this. It says Coi Leray speaks on oversaturation in the music industry. Quote, every song is a hit, everybody is a star. For context purposes, for anybody who is not aware, Coi Leray is, one of these, she's one of the younger hip hop stars. She is the daughter of Benzino. For anyone who does not know who Benzino is, Benzino used to own the hip hop publication called The Source. The Source was real big during the late '90s and into in the 2000s. The Source became really popular for its album rating. Pretty much, a lot of people during that time used to determine how good an album is based on the rating that they got in the Source. So it went from 0 to 5 mics. 5 mics meant that it was a classic. So obviously, the more mics it got, the better the album was. 0 mics, it was bad. 1 mic, it was shitty. 2 mics, it was mediocre. 3 minute, it was good, average. 4 minute was great. 5 mics was a classic. So Jay Z's The Blueprint, 5 mics. Nas, Stillmatic, and Illmatic, 5 mics. Biggie, Life After Death, Tupac, All Eyes on Me. Uh, you know, um, Dr. Dre, The Chronic, all of those classic albums were getting 5 mics in the Source. So the guy who ran that publication, this is his daughter. A lot of younger people probably don't know who Benzino is, but y'all know who Coi Leray is. Um, and outside of running the Source, the thing that Benzino is probably most famous for is beefing with Eminem back in the day. So just for context purposes, so y'all know who well, you know who Coi Leray is, but how she is in the position that she is in the hip hop industry. It ain't because she's talented. She's been able to take advantage of things in her father and all of that kind of stuff. So there you go. Um, as she embarks upon the week of her 26th birthday, Coi Leray has a few things to get off her chest. On Monday, May 8th, the trendsetter hitmaker used her Twitter profile to vent about the current status of the field she works in, writing, quote, the music industry is oversaturated. Every song is a hit, everybody is a star. Thousands of followers made it known they agree with the singer by liking or retweeting the post, but others didn't hesitate to chime in with their opinions, challenging Laray's comments. Can't help but think Coy benefited from said saturation, one user pointed out, seemingly referring to the endless TikTok hits the Boston baddie has released throughout her career. Valid message, wrong messenger. Their
Damn.
message concluded. On Tuesday morning, Leray responded to that tweet along with a few others. Quote, y'all bugging, she chiefly declared. My versatility, my stage presence, my stats, my collabs, my brand deals. The anxiety artist quickly reminded readers of her various talents aside from crafting catchy tracks. So y'all can see some of her retorts here. Y'all bugging my versatility, my stage presence, my stats, my collabs, my brand deals, fashion girl. I can dance, sing, rap. It's fine if you don't see it now. I'm in no rush for you to notice. So um, that's pretty much all the context we need, I'd say. So yeah, so she's like 20, she's 25, she's about to turn 26. I've heard a few of her songs because I have Sirius XM, so I listen to Shade 45 and Hip Hop Nation. In my opinion, her music is not unique in any kind of way. Her songs sound the same as Saweetie's songs. Uh, Young Miami, Lotto, The City Girls. Who else? Glorilla, Megan Thee Stallion. You can list them all. Her music to me sounds the same as all of them. She talks about how much she's a bad bitch and how she's getting to a bag and how she'll take a rich man for his money and how you have to be making a lot of money to date her, and that her vagina basically is for sale as long as you're rich.
Disgusting.
Her music sounds the same to me. Now, granted, I haven't listened to any of her albums, nor will I. There isn't enough time in the day for me to do all of that. But I've heard a fair bit of her singles on radio and Spotify. A lot of it sounds the same. But she felt the need to talk about how oversaturated the music industry is. So, um, you know, people have some things to say about that, and she felt the need to defend herself because of her various talents. But yeah, so Coi Leray talked about the oversaturation of the music industry. What did you think about that?
Um, I agree with her. I agree with both of them. So, because I had to listen to some of her stuff while we were getting to this, I did hear a couple of those songs, as you mentioned, just by passing. Um, Not impressed, clearly. She does sound like everybody else. When I heard those songs on the radio, I was like, "Oh, this is everybody else." So it didn't stand out to me. I ain't go, "Damn, who that?" Who that with the flows. It was like this is. I was like, "Oh, this is the same cookie cutter garbage." That's messing up everybody's head right now. That's what I said. So she's doing that. But the part that I agree with her with, because I'm sitting here looking at her stuff, it's got a lot of views. Her videos are nice. It looks, it's well produced. She has good presence in the videos. So she's an all around artist, she feels. She's not, she doesn't think, she doesn't, she's coming from A, a different generation. B, her dad was a, record exec man. So at the same time, he done put that level of indoctrination that you have to have presence, you have to have this, you got to have that. So she thinks that because she embodies all of these, um, what's the word I wanted to, external things, all of these superficial things, that she feels like she's arrived as an artist, and she would have made it in the '90s, and you wouldn't have.
No, no way.
You wouldn't have. And in those days, they were really finding artists, and then on top of finding artists, it was like artist development, and then they had to get you ready for the big time and all of this other stuff. Like it was a lot of work that went into it, and in order to be discovered by an A&R and all that other stuff, there was so many people that just never made it. So, but they would hand select the ones that, at first, it was actually picking the talented people. Then it evolved into picking the most marketable person, and then it evolved into oversaturation, and then now it's just, now the young people grew up listening to the people that really couldn't rap, that had all the presence and the marketability and none of the skill. And so these kids are the children of their role models who were garbage. And so since they're the children of that, they come up with evolved garbage. It's like radioactive ooze that got even more radioactive. It's amazing. Like the half life of this stuff is like 1 billion years at this point. It doesn't seem like it's going away, because it seems like everybody buys into this garbage. And so this young lady here is too young, as far as I'm concerned, to even know what real artistry is, to know what real artists actually had to go through. And so, yes, she's just a new person. So so she's right from her angle, because she can't see no further than the table. Everybody else that knows what's going on and that's been around and know what real artistry looks like, sounds like, they know that she is part of the problem. And girl, you wouldn't be on if there was no Young Miami, no Minaj, no this, no that. None of this genre of oversaturated thought pop that got everybody going crazy. So, you join in the mix with it. You're just part of the background noise of confusion that's messing up everybody's heads. So, girl, no, you is not talented, because you selling thought box, and that's not rapping. So what about you, sir? Do you agree with damn, what's her name, Miss Coy here? Do you believe
Koi,
that,
yeah.
yeah, do you believe that she's part of the problem, or do you think that they don't make her like her, like make them like her no more? So what do you think?
It's weird because she's right with what she says, but she's
Mhm.
also a part of said oversaturation.
She is.
So I don't even really know what she's talking about. Like, in order for you to say that, she has to be thinking one of two things. She has to be thinking she isn't getting enough credit
Mm.
because of how oversaturated it is. So she's going to talk about it because she feels as though she needs to get more credit, but she knows full well that she makes the same type of content. Or she must actually believe that she doesn't make that kind of content, but she isn't getting shine because the hip hop landscape is oversaturated. Now, I'm going to give her the benefit of being an intelligent human being.
All right. I'm
So
about to say no.
if I'm going to give her the credit of being an intelligent human being, I therefore must believe that it is the former,
Right.
that she knows she is a part of the saturation, but she's just trying to get her little, she's a squirrel trying to get her nut. So she's going to call attention to the saturation so that maybe perhaps it can lead to more people paying attention to her stuff. Because from a content standpoint, you can't with a straight face make the kind of music that she makes, but then complain about saturation. But see, part of the problem, here's where she's right though. It is oversaturated. And
Yeah, absolutely.
when she talks about everybody being a star and all the music being dope, that's the biggest problem that I have with this genre of music that I grew up. I used to love it. I mentioned this, I think it was when we were talking about Faison, Faison Love and Lizzo.
Hmm.
And I mentioned how, no, I'm sorry. It was the mask conversation with Dave Chappelle and Will Smith.
Okay.
And, I said one of the reasons why I could never be a hip hop journalist is because I would have to, I couldn't be critical. Hip hop commentary is not critical. It's horrible. I can't stand it. It doesn't matter how trash an album is. All of the hip hop journalists and all of the people who do the interviews on these radio shows and these podcasts talk about how great it is. It doesn't matter how lacking in talent an artist is, unless you're so egregiously, offensively bad, like Takashi 69, and it's universally accepted that it's okay to trash this person. Unless you're so beyond the pale like him, you can't be critical of an artist because you don't want to offend, you don't want to make them mad, you don't want to piss them off, offend them. You host this show, you want to get these artists on your show, you want to be able to do your interviews, you want to be able to maintain positive relationships. So in an effort to not sever those ties, the hip hop landscape has become neutered. And all they do is talk about how great everything is and how everything is wonderful. Every album that comes out can't be a classic, guys. Like, they can't all be classics. But when these people drop these albums, and it doesn't matter whether I'm listening to, you know, Sway in the morning. I could be listening to the I Destroy show, Who Kid on Saturdays. It doesn't matter what show I'm listening to. Whenever they start talking about albums, DJ Drama on Friday nights with his Gangster Grill show, everything is great. Everything is good. Uh, every artist is good. Every album is a classic, and that's the biggest problem with with this genre of music. There's no accountability for upholding the artistic merit of it. So yeah, you're gonna have all of these thought rappers and these trap rappers flooding the market with their thought music and their trap music. And it is going to become oversaturated because they're following a formula. And so when someone like her speaks on it, she isn't necessarily coming from a place of disingenuousness. It's just only disingenuous from the fact that you're making the same kind of music. So you're one to talk. Like, if you really wanted to stand out from the pack and combat the oversaturation, then you change your content. But you won't do that because you know it sells. Lotto is going to complain about how a rapper wanted to have sex with her in order to clear a feature, but that's not going to stop her from making songs where she's talking about how her vagina's for sale. So you're talking out of both sides of your mouth, and you're being a hypocrite. Pick one side. If the industry is oversaturated, make music that's not saturated. You know, be and what's so bad is I'm trying to think of artists right now who don't contribute to this, and off the top of my head I can't think of any of them. I can't, especially not the women. All of these female rappers sound the same. I can't think of one. I'm trying to think of one. Make music like Rhapsody, but Rhapsody ain't even a part of this generation, so she kind of doesn't count.
Exactly.
She's older, yeah. So I can't even the rap like the ones who I want to bring up. I can't because they're 40 plus, they're 35 plus. So I could say make music like Jean Grey, make music like Rhapsody, make music like I don't even know. I could say make music like them, but that's a bygone generation. We are past that point. So like if you're really about that life, make different music. But you won't do that because you're wrapped up in this BS. You're gonna keep making your vagina music, just like the rest of these rappers make their, trap rap. I don't want to, don't talk about it, be about it. That's how I feel. Like, don't NBA young boy cannot come to me talking about how people make too much trap rap. Then don't make trap rap yourself. Don't do it. Otherwise, just keep riding the wave, which is all hip hop is now. It's a major genre of wave riding, and it is supported by the journalistic integrity that surrounds the music, which won't be critical at all because it's too chicken shit to be critical, and it's also supported by a fan base who will just consume all of it, no matter how bad it is, because they just want to be able to make TikToks and Instagrams and do challenges and do dumb shit on the internet. So yeah, right message to a certain extent, wrong messenger. She's not totally wrong, but she's also part of the problem.
Yeah, agreed. So, hey man, I wish we did live in a world where trap rap and thought rap rule the world, but this is where we're at, man. And it amazes me how these kids eat it up. I don't know what they're listening to. I really don't know what they're listening to, because at least when we were listening to our stuff, it went hard. Like these beats ain't even going hard no more.
They're not, yeah.
And yeah. I'm listening to this, and they're like, "Oh, the beats fire." Some of them do hit, and I'm like, "Man, what y'all know about this? It slapped a little bit, just the beat." But then I'm hearing what's going on, and I'm like, "Bro, what?" I'm here for some of it. Most of it, no, it has to go. And so some of it, and I'm not talking about trap rap. I'm talking about just the new rap.
Yeah,
and they just talking about being fly and wearing designer stuff. I mean, that's as harmless as you can get. At least they're not talking about drugs, selling drugs and killing people. But it's still a little weird and zesty at times. Yeah. And it's like there's no middle ground where somebody's just actually rapping about some real shit. And I don't want to always hear about poverty and oppression either.
Right.
So, so for the rappers that just want to talk about that because they think they got to be conscious. So just being conscious mean you got to talk about police brutality? No, bro. I don't want to hear about that again. That's like watching a slave movie.
Yeah. It's the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So use your creativity to do something else. Who got you thinking that that's what conscious music did? These record labels, because they're the ones that's putting it out. And they give you these guys who rap consciously, but they're clearing and green lighting all of this stuff. And so just like how we talked about in the last thing, or Hollywood, come on, man. It's still the same face on the thing that they're giving you these soul food pancakes with. It's just, or soul food what's that? Chicken and waffles. And it's like, hey man, this don't taste like real chicken and waffles. Yeah, because it ain't. It's watered down. And so, yeah, they were speaking some truth in there, but they always had to talk about cops and all this other weird stuff. And if y'all seen anything when people talk about the industry and these record boards and stuff, these singles, the artists don't pick the singles. The artists don't pick the songs that come out, the videos that get made. The labels did all of that stuff. They controlled every facet of their investment. And the artist was just the cash cow. And so when you listen to that music back in the day, it was all controlled. Ain't nothing past those gates. Unless you was an independent artist actually pushing your own stuff, saying your own fly shit, then you had to say whatever they said you had to say. And if you could have said what you wanted to say, but if you stepped out of line, it was gonna have to come back in bounds. So yeah, man. So when you're dealing with these record executives and these record labels and stuff, hey man, they're gonna push whatever the hell they want to push to the masses. The people have bought it. They believe it. I still listen to some Jeezy stuff, man, and just to think of where I used to be at in my head. Some of the shit go hard, some of the bars that he's saying, but I can't say that no more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say that because what am I saying when I say that?
Yeah.
And what was I thinking when I was hearing that? And so some of the just deplorable stuff, the amount of like how much the bricks cost and stuff like that. Oh man. 17.5 can get you one of these. Best believe I ain't talking car keys. And so when he's saying stuff like that, and I'm in the car like, yeah, whipping, and it's like, no, Mario. This is how they got you the first time. They got you sitting here listening to this stuff bar for bar. So when these kids listen to NBA Youngboy and he's talking about all those emotions and all the pain and trauma that he's going through because he's such a thug. And then people's like, damn, that's some real shit. And I'm sitting here listening to him and I'm like, I get it, but this ain't it. Where y'all at? These kids are depressed, man.
Yeah.
This is a depressed generation of kids because even they thug dudes is talking about depression, about how dark their days are, and all these kids are resonating with this crap. So yeah, Rod Wave and all that stuff. So yeah, man, I don't get it, but everybody's sounding the same because they were given a product. And they're just mimicking what they've been listening to. Because that's, hey man, when I was making music, I wanted to say stuff that was as hard as what Jeezy was saying, but still had a pulse to it. But it has some real life to it. I ain't talking about drugs. But talking about drugs and stuff was fun and easy. Actually writing something responsible takes time and effort. It takes time and effort. So these guys can hit the studio and say the wildest thing about what they'll do to a female and the kind of car they push and how big the rims are. It's easy and fun, but that ain't it. So yeah, man. So she's just doing what's easy and fun, talking about clapping her anorexic ass and selling her box for finances. And girls can be thoughts just like men could be thoughts.
Yeah.
It's just a free world with free sex and no consequences.
Yeah.
And that's the same level, like you said, man. It's just trap rap. So this young generation, while they're listening to it and getting indoctrinated by it, we'll see what the marriage and family rates look like in about 10 years, and see if this stuff has no effect on the psyche. All right.
Oh man. Oh yeah. You already know. I think that in 10 years it's just gonna be like polyamorous and polygamy and just all kind of stuff.
We already there. We might as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even it's gonna get even more. It's gonna get even more. It's gonna get worse for sure.
Like honestly, it's gonna get to the point where like swingers clubs isn't gonna be just like some niche weird thing.
It ain't underground. Yeah, it's not gonna be underground. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be like a legal thing. Like you can legally get married within a polyamorous like situation. I feel like we're gonna start coming up with stuff like that, sharing partners, sharing all of that kind
I
of
don't want to
stuff.
live in it. I don't want to be in that world, man. That's a
You know,
crazy
I don't
world,
think
man.
you might not have a choice. But yeah, I mean, I hear people who say right message, wrong messenger, considering her. I'm inclined to agree with that sentiment, but I could also say she's not wrong in a vacuum. What she's saying is correct. But it's like, look, if you don't want to be a part of the oversaturated market, either 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 get a career change or make different content, but stop it with your woe is me about the oversaturation of the market, because you capitulate to that oversaturation.
Exactly.
You do. So I don't know what you want. You make songs called girls as players too and all of this other stuff, so I don't know what you want, but good luck, that's all I can say.
Attention.
Yeah.
Attention.
Yeah, facts. Yeah. And all of your thirst trap, all of her thirst traps on Instagram that she posts and all of that kind of stuff, it's like you're a part of this. So what are you complaining about? It's almost like she put those posts out just to get attention. Like literally what you just said was
Mhm.
just to get some kind of attention. Like, what are you
Hey,
talking about?
hey, now I know who she is. So damn it, she got me.
Yeah, I guess I knew who she was. But I only because I have, I'm still connected. I still watch cable and I still have radio. So, I'm not new human. I'm not completely new human to where I'm completely unplugged, no cable, no radio, and I'm only streaming everything and doing Spotify for everything. So that's how I knew who she was. But other than that, I just don't know what she's talking about. But whatever. Good luck to her and all of her thought glory, I say.
Spot on.
Yeah. And with that, we will go ahead and conclude tonight's stream. Appreciate everybody for tuning in to the channel. Another Conscious Approach video in the books. My name is JV Wins. That is Dogon SS. Check out the website, consciousapproach.com. Be on the lookout for Conscious Approach on your Spotify platforms. Check out the meta page as well. As always, if you happen to catch this video as a part of the stream, if you were joining us, or if you are watching this as its own standalone upload, man, and you like the commentary that we kick on this channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Let us know what you thought about our commentary in the comments. We do respond. So just let us know what you think, man, as we continue to push this content. We appreciate everybody who's supporting logical content while we are on our way to 1,000 subscribers. You can also follow Conscious Approach on Instagram at ConApproach. CONAPPROACH. I am on Instagram at JVWins, JVWINS. So as we continue onward and upward, we appreciate you joining us for the ride. And until the next video, continue to support this logical content.
Skrr. And the name is Dogon SS. And you can find me on Instagrams at Dogon_SS and on YouTube at Dogon SS. Also, Hurricane Dogon at Yahoo, not Yahoo, goddamn. On YouTube, goddamn. All right, about to give a damn email address for y'all peoples. Anywho, all right, and as I say on every part, guys, don't be too high, don't be too low. Keep it calm, keep it chill, keep it player. All right, and don't let nobody get you off your pivot. All right, including Hollywood. All right, and all of their agenda movies that's meant to get you off of your square and into some weird triangular box. So until the next time, guys, we'll catch y'all on the flip side. Skrr.
Yeah. Consume it with a filter. Consume it with a filter. But
Seriously.
yeah, on that note, another Conscious Approach video in the books. We appreciate you for tuning in. We'll see you on the next video. Peace.
Peace. Go Heat. Go Heat. God damn.